Alright, so now we return to the Pacific Island after defeating Megatron, and we will come to find that the volcano has now been sealed up due to its recent eruption. I've changed my loadout here. I have, just to demonstrate a few mini-cons I won't be able to show off before the end of the game here, I have Overwatch, which is my, essentially my burst gun here, what do you call it, like the spread gun, and which I think I demonstrated at one point. It's decent. I kind of like the sound effect it makes too. My secondary weapon, which is Vortex, which is not a helicopter in this game. He is the tornado launcher we picked up earlier, and I'll try to demonstrate that if I can. I don't know if I'll be able to hit any of the enemies with it though. And then I have Full Speed as my L2, and Slipstream obviously as my my L1, so I can glide and go super fast across the volcano and land over here where this minicon is. This is Jumpstart, and he is a red minicon. I believe he's a 3 or 4 bar minicon. I think he's a 3 bar minicon, which actually I guess we're gonna find out here, won't we? Oh, yeah, it's a 4 bar minicon. Never mind. Yeah, he's the high-powered version of Spark Jump, much like how Corona is the superpowered version of Aurora. So, he's pretty good. I have a loadout where I use him to battle Megatron as well, but again, it's not nearly as good as the other two super weapons like Aftershock and Corona for taking him out. And then if we glide a little bit down here, we can pick up Stronghold, who is the super armor. We also cannot equip. So I'm right above that village down there. I'm gonna see if I can demonstrate the tornado launcher. Nope, completely missed. It's normally pretty powerful at taking out those guys because it knocks them out of the air and then they fall to their death. So here we are back in the Antarctic level with high jump, and also have Shepard as my L2 slot there so I can detect mini-cons, such as this datacon right at the beginning of the freaking level. Yeah, it's the turn around right at the beginning of the level to find something that is hidden while out in the open. Is a typical game trope thing. So now I'm going to demonstrate Jumpstart here, and I have Jumpstart and Slapshot as my setup here with the grenade launcher. And I think I like Slapshot a little bit more than I ever have any right to be. More than it deserves, rather. So for some reason I like this setup, and I've used it against Megatron before. I can't remember if I actually beat him with it or not, but obviously I much more highly recommend using this with Watchdog, or just not using Jumpstart, using what do you call it, Corona or Aftershock as well. But I'm glad I got to show off this weapon because it's pretty nice. It's a red minicon and it's pretty good. Still not that powerful, but it is accurate, and it lasts a while. So, but over here, if you remember, is a jet sniper, and there's also a minicon up here that we couldn't get because we didn't have high jump before. So this is one of the ones I meant to come back to earlier, but now we're back here, and it's one that's coincidentally completely useless, but I wanted to get all of them anyway. So, come on now, please die. I don't think I ever got to demonstrate the tractor beam, which I thought was so hilarious. Trust me, it's awesome. If you go back to one of the early levels with the tractor beam, then it's a lot of fun to use on light units and medium units to just hurl them across the screen. Anyway, I'm gonna try to use high jump to get up here. It's not really working very well. Come on now. Alright, screw it. There we go. And he just leaps from the ground all the way up there somehow. Alright, this is Shock Punch. He is a force field that deals damage to enemies that touch us. He's technically a melee type minicon, but he's not very good because you have to be taking damage from the enemy in order to do it. He just knocks enemies down when they come in contact with you. It's pretty useless. I only really use it with the stealth field, which, again, doesn't really work all that well together. Anyway, so that's it for all the minicon collecting. Now we go on to the final level. We're back. That's Cybertron yet again. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Unicron, and he's back. This time he is not voiced by Orson Welles, unfortunately. That would be nice if he was still around.
Unicron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Yes, thank you for butchering that line from the '86 movie. Oh look, it's all the mini-cons. Wait, what? What are they doing? Okay, it's awesome that they included Unicron in the finale of this game. It really is, but it just makes me realize that much more how little of the show was actually used as reference when making this game. It's still a great game, but there's still aspects of it that I wish would have been more faithful. Like this, for instance. Obviously, they messed up on the scale big time here. As much as I was complaining about the scale earlier in the game, now we are essentially the size of these cities, and we are flying around Cybertron like it's no big deal on our little silly jetpack thing. And Unicron is pretty accurate size between the planet and himself, if the planet was actually to scale. But it's not. So we have 4 mini-cons here. We have, you know, a jetpack and some kind of super shield thing. We have the Matrix cannon, which is our only weapon, and then something else I don't remember. It's not. We unfortunately do not get to use the Star Saber, the Skyboom shield, or the Requiem blaster in this game, though, which is another thing that I wish they would have done. But again, the absence of the additional characters like Smokescreen and Jetfire and Demolisher and Scavenger, and really does detract from this whole Unicron part, because to get this late into the story, where they had to have known that Unicron was going to be in Armada, but they were like, well, he's going to be the ultimate bad guy. We don't know what we're going to do with that yet, but we're going to introduce him. This is the design for the toy. We're going to put it in the game, and that's what you get. And that's why it's the model for Unicron in the game is accurate to the Armada action figure, but that's really about it. The character is not represented at all very well, because it doesn't make any sense in the story. He literally just comes out of nowhere, and you can see that little black sphere there above his mouth. That's his mini-con. His name is Dead End. So basically we have to chase him around the planet and wait for him to start attacking, and he'll open up his enormous jaws there, and we can fly in and use the Matrix cannon on his weak point there to stop his attack. After we do that 3 times, he opens up a new section, which makes it even harder, because now we have to travel further inside of him in order to deal damage, which means we have an even shorter period of time to get inside his mouth. As disturbing as that is. Anyway, like I said, it's cool and everything, and this is a great game and all that, but I don't know how I feel about this with the fact that they just tack this on in the end here, when they've tried so little throughout the rest of the game to make it a good adaptation of the show. I would be more content, honestly, if they just ended it off with Megatron, you know, or if Megatron got away and you fought him in the Pacific Island, and you've had to fight him again on Cybertron in a much more climactic battle. I would have been okay with that over this, really. Basically, to sum up, just putting Unicron in here just draws attention to how much is missing. But it's still pretty freaking awesome, because in Armada, this is the first time we had seen Unicron since the original, the 1986 movie. This can be pretty disorienting to control this part, though. But it's not difficult to. It's pretty easy in the early stages, really. We just gotta, you know, catch up to him and line up our shot just perfectly, because it takes a long time to regenerate. Ah, we failed there. And you can see Cybertron's health bar in one corner, and then his health bar in the other. We are invincible. The planet, on the other hand, not so much. Yeah, most of the damage the planet's probably going to take, though, is going to be in the later stages of this, because early on, it's pretty hard to fail this, really. There we go. Good thing we don't have to actually try to get out in time. The game just does it for us. The arrow here is also very difficult to understand where it's trying to get you to go. Unless Unicron is directly in your sights, it's pretty hard to comprehend. Because it's kind of offset at an angle there. Alright, I think... Are we too late? Are we too late? I think we got it. Ah, so close. You even fired off our shot, too. Eat it, Unicron. So, as far as, speaking of Unicron, the rumor is that, because I guess they announced Michael Bay's Transformers 4 or whatever, which I guess is going to be called Age of Extinction, or something like that, which is a pretty awesome title. I don't know if I've referenced this before earlier in the LP or not, but the rumor is obviously it's going to be a Unicron movie, but honestly, I don't know if I believe that really or not, because he could have just as easily done Unicron in Dark of the Moon. Instead of, he even made the same effect for it, because the CGI effect where he has, you know, Cybertron coming into the same space as the Earth there, you could just have that be Unicron instead of Cybertron coming to Earth. You know, it would be the same thing. There's no reason why he couldn't have been Unicron in that movie as well. But Dark of the Moon was terrible and a letdown, so I tried to get in there after he had fired, but see, this is where it gets really tricky. He's on his last bit of health there, but he's just so hard to catch up to now. It's hard to get that last shot in there. So I've got to meet up with him at a very specific point in time, to where right where he's about to open up, to where it's not too soon where I can't get in, and not too late where he's already about to fire too. And he's starting to catch up to us too. He's starting to deal a lot more damage. But yeah, I don't really care about there being a new movie. I'll probably go see it, but I'm not really excited for it, just because I've become that cynical, nostalgic Transformers fan where I really don't care. Alright, there's his core. Alright, we got one more round to go. His core is exposed. We need to attack his weak point for massive damage. Oh, it never gets old. Alright, I've officially had enough of this. Where's the cheesy 80s hair metal when I need it? That ought to help me defeat him. There we go.
Destiny. You cannot destroy my destiny.
There actually is an alternate ending if you lose the fight that shows him destroying Cybertron, and it's pretty gruesome too. Looks like Shockwave's tower there.
For victory! 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 For Cybertron! Cybertron!
Yay, we have liberated Cybertron and won the war, even though there's supposed to be armies of each faction of Autobots and Decepticons, and Cybertron was still at a neutral standpoint at this point in the war, so I don't know how that works. So yeah, that's it for Transformers Armada. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, this is probably the most critically acclaimed Transformers game ever made, and rightfully so, because it is excellent. And anybody that wants to go play a very classic, very challenging, very old school third-person shooter that has awesome robots, or is a fan of mech games or anything like that, owes it to themselves to check out this game. It's pretty hard to find now. I actually found another copy of it recently for not very much, so there's copies of it out there. It's just not very common. And it's the Transformers game I would recommend to anybody. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of ways that I prefer War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron over this game, but only a few. I think I hold this one closer to heart, though. Just more nostalgia on my part, but honestly, those games do have more G1 references for more hardcore Transformers fans. There's not really that many hardcore fans of Armada out there, really. In fact, Armada is very much frowned upon by the majority of the G1 fans. But it's the series that I, was introduced to that got me back into Transformers after many years. So, I have a lot of nostalgia for Armada in particular, and I appreciate anybody that also does. I thought it was a fine series, even though it does have a lot of flaws looking back now. And the same thing with this game. I think this game has held up reasonably well over the years and is still widely regarded as a PlayStation 2 classic. So yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this Let's Play. It was pretty short. I can't complain about that. It took me long enough to finish it though, after everything that's been going on in my life. So, like I said before, I really don't have any plans to do any other Transformers games unless you guys have a good suggestion. Let me know what you guys think. The only other one I would even consider doing would maybe be the Revenge of the Fallen game, just because that one actually has decent gameplay. The other two, I would just not even touch though. But even the Revenge of the Fallen game suffers from repetitive missions, so I don't even know if I would touch that one. But I'll think about it. Like I said, any other games that you guys want to suggest, just feel free. If you guys enjoyed this Let's Play, be sure to check out my others. Go to my channel and click on the Facebook page, and go check that out for the upcoming Let's Plays I have in store for you guys. The next one coming up is finally I'm getting started on Bulletstorm after talking about it for all this time, and then I have another announcement to make for my side Let's Play coming up very soon here. And that one I'm not even gonna say anything about it other than I am super excited to start on that game, because it's probably one game I have put more hours into than any other game I've ever played. So I am just thoroughly thrilled to start that one. So I'm not gonna spoil what it is until we get started on that one. So I will see you guys then. Thank you guys for watching.